Hey everyone, gonna let people join in. I'm really excited about doing this on Guitar Loves. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna let people join in, and then I'm gonna add Thomas to the conversation. Let's see that everything is working properly, and I can't wait to start. Thomas is gonna be here shortly, and if you can share this live stream, it's gonna be very valuable for everyone. Once Thomas joins, we will start. And if you want to know a little bit about me, stay tuned. We're going to talk about guitar voicings and scales and everything you want to know. And it's coming up. I'm adding Thomas right now to the conversation, so hold on for 1 minute. And I promise you this is going to be a very valuable masterclass for all of you guys. It's the first time we're doing this, so we're really excited, but stay positive with us, and here it comes. And oh yeah, this is an ES335, and I love it. Thanks for asking, Tanim. Alright, oh here we go, I can add requests, and now I'm adding Thomas to the talk. Hold on, it's coming up. Thomas Griggs is an amazing guitar player, and we've been in touch for a while now, and I'm really looking forward to share with you guys all the concepts and things that we were talking about that has to do a lot with arpeggios and voice leading. So hold on, in 1 minute Thomas will be here, and we'll start the broadcast. Meanwhile, if you guys can share this live broadcast, that will be awesome. So more people will join, and this is gonna be an ongoing thing, and I'm really excited about it. Let me just see if Thomas is joining. Oh man, thanks for being here. Here he is. Approve Thomas, add Thomas to the... And we are live with Thomas Griggs. Yeah, man.
Hey.
Hey, so what I'm doing right now is I'm sharing it on all of my pages so people can tune in.
Okay.
And meanwhile, maybe you can tell me a little bit, and maybe you can tell the audience what's your name and where you're from. Even though you're a well-known guitarist, I bet some of them would love to hear you introduce yourself. And meanwhile, I'm sharing all this stuff.
Cool.
Okay, let's do it.
Hey, everybody. Thomas Griggs. I'm from Tampa, Florida. Geez, been playing guitar 12, 13 years, I think. Yeah, just a regular gigging musician. I tour a little bit with the band Intervals. Thanks to Aaron Marshall, who's the head of that band. Got to meet him a couple years ago through Tosin, and me and him hit it off, and it just happened to work out that we got to tour and stuff. So it was pretty cool. Hey everybody. Hey Alex.
How's it going, everyone? Sorry that I'm sharing all those stuff, but if you want to support adding in more people, so just share this live stream, and in 1 minute we will start. Meanwhile, I'm doing some more shares, and we can start. Here we go. That's it. We're on. So Thomas, my friend, yesterday we had a really good talk, and I was like, I was thinking about all these cool concepts that we were talking about, and just really happy to have you here.
Yeah, man. I'm glad to be here. We nerded out pretty hard yesterday.
Yeah,
it was awesome. Yeah. Is the video flipped for you as well? Am I
Oh,
backwards? Am I?
no, it looks good. Hey guys, let us know if you see any technical issues. And can you hear me? No distortion, no nothing.
It's perfect. Crystal clear.
Yes. So hi Jeremy, hi Neve, hi everyone. Thanks for being here. So yeah, so you know, you asked me yesterday about my experience in Berklee, and I would like to start with you. First of all, we both share
Ah,
the same school. We both went to Berklee, and I'm curious to hear how was it over there for you. I'm
yeah,
flipped. Am I flipped? What is flipped?
like your screen, it looks like you're playing left-handed.
Oh, well, I guess I have nothing I can do about that.
Yeah, it's probably
Yeah, but
the same for mine.
yeah, we
Not
just
sure.
we actually
Just roll
just
with
play
it.
left hand.
Yeah.
We're just
We're
left-handed.
That's what you learn at Berklee is ambidextrous playing.
So wait, what is my name?
It's
Leonard C.
Leynad 𝐬𝐀𝐲𝐬.
That's me, and I'm from Africa, right? That's my name,
Yeah.
probably.
That's great.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
Um,
so Berklee, starting with that.
yeah.
Yeah, Berklee was a great experience for me. I did 1 year at Berklee, and I did that after I did a degree in classical studies. I guess with an emphasis on classical guitar, and lots of theory. I was like super big into theory at that time as well. So I kind of went around applying to some schools for graduate programs, like FSU, for example, for like classical performance in a grad degree, and I didn't get it because I was not that type of player. I don't think I knew enough stuff to be a grad student for classical guitar performance, but they wanted me for theory instead. I was like, nah, I'm just gonna try some other stuff. So I just applied to Berklee and got in. Figured I'd just go for a year and try to study with like my idols. You know, my idol at the time was Mick Goodrick because I'd just been studying out of his books for so long, and Tim Miller was there. He's still my idol, you know. Freaking love Tim Miller. So it was cool. I got to study with Mick Goodrick the full year I was there. A little bit with Tim Miller, Jim Kelly, Kim Perlak. She was the assistant chair at the time for classical, and I did a bunch of classical while I was there too, and I got to play with Roland Deans. I don't know. Do you know Roland? Have you heard of him?
I graduated in 2011, and you entered in
2013.
And okay, so
yeah,
I probably missed some of. We didn't have the same faculty, probably.
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah. But we did have the same private teacher. We both had Mick, and Mick.
Yeah.
Mick is amazing. It's he's a doctor. He's a guitar doctor, right?
Yeah. He's the godfather, man. The godfather of guitar education. That's what I consider him.
Yeah.
Yeah. How he's able to piece everything together and just think of all this stuff is amazing. It's really, really cool.
So,
and
So I guess like today is it's going to be very experimental for us because we never did this and we will do it again. But I just want it to be a very valuable experience to everyone who's watching. So if you have any questions that, if you know my playing or Thomas's playing and you're into all these harmonic, I don't even know how to explain it, kind of modern sounds. So you can feel free to really ask anything. And I guess we can start off by just talking a little bit about this scale workout that we checked out yesterday, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Thomas showed me a really, really cool concept of taking drop twos. We'll start with that, okay?
Yeah.
So if you have, so let me know if I'm explaining it correctly, but if you have a drop two, you told me that instead of playing the free of the chord, I can lower the free into like a sus2 thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So there, you can turn those into like really big arpeggios, and basically what you're doing is you're combining drop two chords like via two string sets. You have like a root position, drop two, string sets 6, 5, 4, 3, and then you'd have third inversion string with the string sets 4, 3, 2, 1 at the top, and that becomes just, when you just roll it, just becomes
it's like
super wide.
And we also talked about the right hand, right? That it's, you're starting with an up and then down, 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 and then finger. I
just do down, 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 and then finger on the top, so I don't get.
Yeah, I've practiced it a little bit in between our sessions, because I'm really used to just going with a pick in these type of 6-string movements, and there is something very liberating about using the finger over there.
Yeah. So to me, the finger, because I came from economy, the finger just replaces the downstroke. So when I use my finger anyways, my pick kind of pivots to turn around to get the upstroke. And I just always hated that double note stuff when you're sweeping, you know? Yeah, I can't stand that. I can't stand it.
What about the second version? So you guys, if you know drop two voicing, it's basically just, oh, that's a good point, by the way. I always explain that drop two voicing, and I probably explain it, I don't know if I'm explaining it correct, but if you have, let's say, like just a C major 7 arpeggio, I look at it as just taking the second note, putting it up an octave.
Yes.
Some people explain it as like lowering a note. Some people like that approach.
That's like the classical approach. I learned that in classical theory, and they're both correct. Right. I don't like the classical. I'm gonna call it I don't know if it is the classical approach, but I just learned it in theory classes. I don't like that because what you're doing is you're taking like so this position, right, this root, and you're dropping the second highest note an octave. Right. So you drop it down. I don't like that because then you go from a root and it turns it into a second inversion. So if you think of it like how you said, taking the second to lowest note and moving it up an octave, you stay in the same inversion.
And regarding that first inversion that was over here on string 6, 5, 3, 4, Thomas showed me that I can lower the 3 into the 2, just as we did with the root inversion.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and do the same thing by connecting, right? This one.
Yeah.
2.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
why don't you talk about that? Yeah.
Yeah, so there you're connecting first inversion with root position. And then you can do them off of that's a great one.
That's the next inversion. By the way, I can see your video so small, so I'm only going to use my ears for that, but I'm guessing this is what, right?
Yep. Yep.
So if you guys are watching this and like, what the, so I would really, I mean, both me and Thomas would probably suggest the same thing of really, if you're into harmony and stuff, and also for line creation, check out drop 2 voicings and just learn how to implement them in your soloing. When I talk with my students, and let me know what you think about that approach, I look at it as like there's lines and all the closed sounds, the kind of close, it's like a scale, maybe that's like the closed sounds. And then there's also the more open sounds that can be maybe stacking thirds or drop 2s. All that kind of more open sound. And when you can combine in your solos a flow, if you practice on improvisation, and someone asked about improvisation here, so that's kind of answered. If you can kind of start combining closed sounds with open sounds, so you get this diverse feeling in your lines. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Kind of like a linear and an angular approach. It's a really cool mix to have.
Yeah.
In your playing and improvisation, even in writing. So it's a lot of fun. But those are great for me, just as like arpeggios, you know? Everyone's so used to playing them in a strict, like, closed format. I think the drop 2 stuff opens it up, and you can use like functioning chord designs as like soloing material, using it for improvisation, which is really cool.
Yeah.
And just start to play around with the harmony and start replacing notes, going to other chord designs, you know. Like another one I've been playing with a lot is the 1, 2, 3, 7 chords and drop 2s. So those, I know that sounds like really alien, but a 1, 2, 3, 7 and drop 2 is kind of like your normal R&B chords, like a C minor 9, like that, you know. Everyone does this in R&B or in C major 9, the major version. So that's already.
Are these called shell voicings sometimes? I've heard someone call these like when you take 1, 3, 7 and add some tension. It's like a shell with the diamond.
Interesting. I've always thought of shell voicing as basically drop 2, but without your
5
second to lowest note. Yeah, so like a G shell voicing would be just like 1, 7, 3, and then 3, 1, 5, and then 5, 3, 7, and then 7, 5, 3. I don't know if you can see.
Yeah, I can't really see, but I can hear. Oh wow, there's inversions for those as well.
Yeah, the typical like Freddie Green.
Yeah.
All that stuff.
Let's see if people have some questions here. Someone asked, tell us about your favorite bands and artists. That's Tanim, and thanks for the question, my friend. So, who have you been checking out lately? I don't know about favorite, but
Yeah,
who have you
favorite.
been
That's
getting into
hard.
lately? Or
Lately, the Austin Peralta album. I forget what it's called. I have it queued up here, I think. Austin Peralta.
I'll check it out. Austin.
Some Knee Body, Ben Wendell.
Oh, they're amazing. I love Knee
Yeah.
Body.
I
Definitely
love
check out Knee Body.
Where is the Austin?
So it's like knee body as like in a knee.
Yeah.
And body. So if
Yeah.
you kind of like a modern New Yorkish some experimental.
Yeah, very experimental.
I love the drummer. What's his name?
Nate Wood.
Oh.
Yeah, Nate Wood's great. Yeah. Yeah, the Austin Peralta album's called Endless Planets. That's a great one. I've been listening to that a lot lately. I really listen to, like, if it's jazz, it's kind of going to be a bit more modern. Just because I kind of grew up like as a metalhead, and all those like new age, like modern metal albums, they're just produced like super well, and I think that kind of like screwed me with jazz. So like going back and listening to old jazz is really hard for me because they're not produced. It's very, very, very rough recordings, but I've been trying to listen to more lately, just because I feel like I'm a bit too much of a modern player, and I kind of want to break out of that and try to go somewhere else. Like we were talking about some bebop stuff, and I'm kind of like clueless with that stuff, so I'm trying to ingest some of that. But even still, like listening to bebop, I'm still gravitating to like the modern stuff. So like I've been listening to Adam Rogers, that album Apparition. Yeah.
Oh man, so I love Adam Rogers. Do you know his album Labyrinth?
Yes, that's the. I think that's the one I've been listening to. Yeah. Yeah, that song's great.
Oh man, he has all this vibe, all that.
Yeah.
All those triads.
So sick. Yeah, he's badass.
Right, he has all those.
It's nuts. Very crazy stuff. Yeah.
I took some lessons with Adam.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and I actually have a quote that I read every time I need some inspiration from him. Just like I recorded the lesson, I can send it to you. I don't know if that's cool to send it, but just for you, I guess it's okay. And we basically, there was like he came into Berklee and he did this masterclass, and sorry, I got sidetracked. And they made like this thing that 1 or 2 people will get a few lessons with him, and I won the competition.
Damn.
And that was amazing, like sitting there with him just playing standards. So let me find the quote because it's really meaningful. Here it is. So okay. I can't find it. Anyway, what he basically said is, when you're working on something, whatever you're choosing to work on, okay, even if you're choosing to work on a scale, don't just look at it as some dry exercise. Always respect sound, meaning, intention in every note you play. And he just said that, and he said, like, because if you think about it, horn players really focus on one note.
Yeah.
Whatever, just the sound. I'm just thinking about the sound. And when he talked about practicing scales, he said that he actually practices boring exercises every day. Like, he just goes, he just really focuses on the sound. Of course, he also talked a lot about timing and putting the metronome every 4 bars, that instead of practicing being dependent on some metronome that is giving you every quarter, whatever you practice the metronome giving you just a small indication that your internal time is happening. So the click will only fall every 4 bars. And I think that's something that I really took from those lessons.
Yeah, that's deep stuff. That's awesome. I like the point about the horn players. It's really cool. It's very inspirational.
Do you feel that some days you're like playing and you're picking up the guitar and you're like kind of just playing whatever, and you're not really feeling the deep connection as in the day before? Or do you know what I'm saying? Like, if you have something that you know, you can also express it just kind of like
yeah,
the depth.
Every day.
Yeah,
pretty much every day. There's, always something missing, I'd say. Well, not missing, something to like work on,
Right.
So yeah, I kind of feel that every day. There's always something more you can achieve in a day, but yeah, some days are better than.
How do you both work your improvisations? What exercise would you advise to work on improvising? What do you think?
My first attempts, like with improvising, was really just having a grasp of chord tones over anything else, because those are your home notes. It's kind of like all that really matters are the chord tones,
Yeah.
All the other notes
Can you give
can
us
just
an example if we're talking about I don't know, like some diatonic progression, like C, A minor, D, G7, whatever. Something simple.
You could do something like an on leaves thing. Basically, I worked on I don't even know if I could do it now because I haven't done it in forever, but trying to play just like one string chord tones and then try to combine and eventually just try to play in one area, just your chord tones.
Right.
But just doing a lot of exercise. So taking it very rigid like that, and then breaking out of that after you've gone through, like all your positions from the 7. And then just trying to explore from there, like still trying to do chord tones, but a lot of the time I would try to just keep it in one area. And then from there, my teachers would have me develop tensions off of each chord, starting with 9s and then going to like 11s and then 13s. And from there, you basically get a chord scale. But
Right.
at that time, I was never thinking of chord scales. I was kind of like only thinking of harmony, I guess, and
Hmm.
what I could interject. So it didn't like register as a chord scale type theory until I got to
Right.
Berklee, I guess, you know, because they really pound that in you. So like, for example, I would just nines. And that's just focusing on the nines right there. But and
Hmm.
that's I mean that's a cool approach too, just for like comping, just trying to like voice your
Yeah.
nines, and then trying to get through um, all of them and just voice lead with kind of like creating a melody out of that where you are positionally.
Because the voice leading kind of brings us the flow that we need. Let's say all the things you are or something. Um,
Mm-hmm.
that if you already know, um, so if I can organize it to steps for a second, taking what you kind of said and organizing it into actual steps that people practice, and correct me if I'm wrong. First of all, you gotta know the all the 1 3 5, the triads. I mean,
The
you gotta
triads,
know.
yeah.
Let's just take C major because it's always a really good place to start. You have C major, and you have triads, just closed triads. And I'm explaining to those who are watching. Of course, we have 4 sets, and if we have 4 sets, that means we can apply C, E, and G, for example, on all 4 sets. So just that alone is a starting point, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's the same note on the different 4 sets, and for every one of them, we can attach a chord scale, as in. And of course, triads have inversions. So if we can invert, we can now also do the chord scale from the inversion, right? And the same goes for the next area, like the second
Mm-hmm.
inversion, right? So if you want to organize your practice in first of all, just knowing how to practice improvisation, understand that you're dealing with playing not on harmony, you're playing through harmony. And to play through harmony, you need to develop this independence on whatever. That's at least how I interpret what you kind of said from the back door.
Mm-hmm.
Is whatever chord shows up when you're improvising, it's cool. You can keep developing your lines. You can keep voice leading in that way or another, an idea, emotive, because you always have this independent way of just moving between shapes, and all those shapes have chord scales attached to them.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah, perfect. Yeah.
let's see another question. I would very much want to see a simple chord progression. For example, 1 6 4 5. Okay, and put some tensions. Well, I guess that's a good thing. I mean, instead of going over there, maybe you can kind of explain this through cycles and just really simple, basic. What are cycles? Like, can you explain about that?
Yeah, cycles are basically just how you move your progression intervallically. They can be diatonic or I guess the other word would be symmetric, you know, just moving in strict major thirds or strict seconds. But yeah, cycles are a great way to work on your voice leading. I worked the most in cycle 2 because there's more movement within cycle 2, and 7, cycle 7. Just because when you move in other cycles like 3, 6, and 4 and 5, there are a lot more common notes, I guess, especially when you're dealing with 7th chords. When you're in cycle 2 and cycle 7, there's only one common note. So basically, a cycle 2 in the key of C would just be, you're just ascending your scale. But to work on voice leading, you would physically voice down instead of up, because if you voiced up, you're just going to get root position each time, which you're not learning anything new there. Everyone knows root position chords pretty much.
Right.
So as when you work, for example, so cycle 2, you're going to move down, but you're ascending the scales. So these are just open triads. So you'd have C, D minor, E minor, F, G, A, B diminished, C, like that. Yeah.
So let me try, because I never done that. So maybe you can kind of teach me, and by that you will teach people watching. Hope I don't fail epically, but let's at least try. So if I'm trying, I'm going to take, I noticed you're using open triads for those. Is that correct?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so for those who don't know what open triads is, it's kind of like dropping the second note again, but in a triad.
Mm-hmm.
So you basically just take the second note and you raise it. Instead of having, you have the second note goes up and you have this G in the middle. So all those kind of cool sounds.
Yeah.
It's really beautiful. I think there's some real beauty in open triads.
Yeah, they're the best.
Yeah. And guitarists kind of tap into that. So yeah. So I'm okay. So teach me. So I'm taking that C triad, and now my next chord would be voice led down.
Voice led down, but up to D minor, right? Because you're still ascending your scale. Exactly. So basically, you want to voice lead down to the next nearest possibility for D minor, which would be here, and then down to E minor.
First inversion E minor.
Yeah, first inversion. Then you're gonna have a root position F. Okay, and then a second inversion G.
Second inversion.
Yep, and then first inversion A minor.
Okay.
And then root position B diminished.
Okay.
And then you end on a second inversion for C.
Oh, and it's beautiful because the voice leading is going down, but the harmonic feeling is going up.
Yeah. Yes.
I'm sure this has nothing to do with negative harmony, but it kind of feels like that could be a terminology that can work.
Yeah.
It is some kind of like a paradox, right?
Yeah. There's a word for that type of movement. I forget what it's called, because there's like, this would be like parallel. I think it's is it
oblique?
Obtuse? Oblique, yeah.
I heard something about that before. Okay, so now let's further up this really cool concept by moving, let's just do 4 to 3 in each chord, the movement of the sus4 to the 3 of a chord.
Okay, yeah, creating suspensions.
Yeah.
So when you do that, for example, through cycle 2 as well?
Sure, yeah, let's stay simple.
So you're just going to have suspensions of 4 to 3. Basically, you're going to have like a C sus. So you're going to have an F instead of the E, and then move that down. to E. But all the suspensions are going to be diatonic to C.
Right.
So
you gotta
when
know
you
the
get
chord
to
scale.
So like when you get to F, for example, it's going to be a sus sharp 4, right? When you get to that one, just so you know. But basically you're going to have C 4-3, and then you're going to have D, right? Good. And then you're going to have a, for E minor, 4-3.
4 and 3.
So, and what's cool about this is the movement is changing voice each time. So the first one started in your high register, middle register, yeah, and then you're gonna have like that.
Right, the Lydian.
Yeah, the Lydian, and then G 4-3. Yep, and A minor.
Right.
Yeah.
I need to work on the finger.
Yeah, you kind of have to work them out. They're pretty weird.
Yeah,
and then a B diminished.
So that will be.
Yep. And then you're gonna end on a C 4-3.
So much soul in that. So much beautiful stuff in there.
So much.
Yeah, okay, now nice you told me something really briefly about a third step within a cycle, that now you can combine suspensions, right?
Yeah. It's a pretty weird approach. It hurts the brain. I did a video on it.
Okay.
But basically, what I was doing from there is just still cycle 2, and I'm just alternating 9-1 to 4-3 to 6-5. So for example, you're gonna have a C 9-1, and then a D minor 4-3, and then a 4-3 on the D minor, and then you're gonna have a 6-5 on E minor, but it's flat 6, flat 6-5, flat 6. Right?
Yeah.
Because it's all diatonic suspensions, and now you're back to a 9-1 on F.
Got it.
4-3 on G.
Sorry about that. We're back. Okay. So 4 and 3 to G.
Can you see me?
Yeah. Everything is fine.
Okay, you're frozen, but
I'm frozen?
Yeah, but I guess we can just keep going if it's working.
Yeah, it will come back soon.
So 4-3 on G. So C resolves down to B, and then 6-5 on A minor. So F falls into E.
Can you see me now?
No.
Okay.
And then B diminished is going to be a 9-1, where the C falls into B, the root. And then you're going to end on a 4-3 in C. And F falls into E.
Wow. Can you play that like all at once so that we can hear it?
Yeah. What's that?
No, I'm here. I'm here.
Oh, sorry.
Wow.
Yeah, and that's the
That's a
arpeggiated form
beautiful
of it.
sound.
So just chords would be. Yeah, very, very, very pretty stuff.
So, can you see me now, by the way?
No, you're still
I'm
frozen.
stuck. I'm stuck. Okay.
You're stuck, man.
Well,
someone said,
yeah, maybe we can answer some question.
Alex says he can see both of us, so I guess it's still working.
Yeah, everyone can see? Can you guys see me? Let me know if you can see me. Then we can, Okay. Well, guys, I can see myself, but let me know if you guys can see. Okay, so let's see any other questions over there. Well, no more question, Thomas. What would you suggest to check out?
I mean, just going off that voice leading stuff and the harmony, you know, you could start moving it to other chord scales as well. Like I just, I think I just tried to play it in a C harmonic major. So basically a C major scale with a flat 6, right? Instead of an A, you'll have a A flat, which is a lot nicer harmony, I'd say.
Yeah.
So you'll have just going off the same thing. Oh, I guess first I'll just do it normal triads. So you'd have C, D diminished, E minor, F minor, G, A flat augmented, B diminished, C.
Super.
So then you can take that same approach of the alternating suspensions. Which is kind of hip, a little bit hipper sound.
Yeah, it's really beautiful. Yeah. I don't think you can see how you can't see me, so you can't see how much I dig it.
I can't.
So
I can hear it. I can hear it though.
So we have two options, guys. If you guys let me know that you see me, so we can stay on this stream. If not, we'll do a new one. And so in the comments below, let me know if you guys can see. We're having some technical issues, which is cool. It can happen. Well, no one's commenting, so I have no clue if they can see me or not, but let's do this again. Let me call you again, okay?
Sure.
So hopefully you guys tune in again. We're gonna end this conversation and start a new one. So see you then.